They shoved the little boy against the wall, laughter echoing down the empty hallway, until a voice like thunder split the air. The tall man stepped forward, eyes blazing. His work uniform still smelled of engine grease, his knuckles raw from double shifts. A single dad with nothing to his name but the child trembling behind him. What no one knew was that the black card casually tucked in his back pocket, the one that could buy and sell everything they boasted about, carried his name. Daniel Hayes had never cared about appearances. He wore worn-out boots, drove a battered pickup, and worked night shifts in a small-town auto garage. People whispered he was just a mechanic. But to 7-year-old Liam, he was the whole world. Liam's mother had left when he was still a baby. No explanations, just a note saying she wasn't cut out for family life. Daniel didn't have savings or a plan, just fierce love and stubborn determination. That love brought him today to Liam's school early, after a call from his teacher that his son hadn't come back from recess. When he arrived, Daniel turned the corner and froze. 3 boys twice Liam's size stood circling him. One shoved his glasses off. Another held Liam's backpack like a trophy. Pick on someone your own size, he snapped, stepping between them. One of the bullies scoffed. Back off. You're just the janitor or something. Daniel almost laughed. Janitor would be a promotion, he thought. But instead, he reached into his pocket, intending only to wipe his hands. The sleek black card slipped out and fell at their feet. They stared at it. The school logo was stamped in gold. Under it, a single name, because while the town still thought Daniel was just a struggling single dad, what they didn't know was that 3 years ago, after helping an elderly man with a broken-down car, that man turned out to be the school's founder and major donor. Touched by Daniel's integrity, and seeing his financial strain raising Liam alone, he left Daniel everything in his will. Daniel had never told anyone that he didn't want power. He wanted his son to grow up humble, to know kindness before privilege. Yet now, watching his little boy shrink behind him, Daniel finally understood this was not about power. It was about protection. He picked up the card slowly, turned to the boys, and said softly, almost like a promise, "From today, bullying ends here. In this school. In this town. In front of my son, or anyone else's." The boys stepped back, faces pale. Daniel bent down, lifted Liam gently into his arms. Liam sniffed but nodded. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Daniel smiled, eyes glistening. "Because who I am doesn't matter. Who you become does." Liam wrapped his arms around his father's neck. "Can I tell people you're my hero?" Daniel swallowed hard. "Only if I can tell them you're mine." Months later, the school launches a kindness initiative. A plaque is placed at the entrance. Strength isn't about power. It's about standing up, especially when no one else will. In honor of a father who did. Every morning, Daniel drives Liam to school in the same battered pickup. But now when they walk inside, no one sees a mechanic. They see the man who stood up, who changed everything, and tucked in his wallet, still untouched, is that black card, not as a symbol of wealth, but as a reminder of the day his son